Probably had them solicited if you're any type of creator out in the world. We'll help give you a better audience. We'll get you more exposure. So I decided if people can solicit that, let's see if AI can do it. Can we get my podcast to be more popular? Maybe actually start driving traffic with a different structure to the podcast. After working with AI for 6 weeks, what did I find? I found out it's an absolute waste of time, and everything that the AI was telling me was pointless. It killed the podcast. We're done. Or are we? This, my friends, is NetHeads.
System activate.
This is NetHeads.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will and Trent.
Transmission incoming from the big giant head.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to another edition of NetHeads. My name is Will.
My name's
Whoa.
Trent.
We didn't fix your other angle, Trent.
This top quadrant
Don't worry about
of
it,
my
Trent.
head.
Don't worry about it. I know it seems like the 55-year-old dude. God, look at that though. When you do that, I saw getting a little preview of the gun show at the top of that sleeve there, buddy. I know you didn't plan. Anyway, that's Trent. Welcome to another edition of Heads. Yeah, it's true, guys. We did, in fact, try to get AI to help improve the podcast. You know, because there's all of us. If you have a podcast out there, you're not Amy Poehler, right? You're not the what's the name? Will? No, I can't remember. Will Arnett, right? You're not Will Arnett and Jason Bateman and Sean. What's Sean's last name?
Hannity.
Nope, not that one.
I hear his podcast's doing great since he can't be on TV.
You know, the funny gay from the Will and Grace.
Oh!
I'm sorry, wearing this hat, I thought that's how I was supposed to talk.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, the whole point is that we're not the Kelsey brothers, right? Shit, we're
Right.
not even Kylie Kelsey, for God's sakes. We're just two schmoes, and you're probably like us. There are a lot of podcasts out there, right? And you're saying, how can I get more audience now? How can I get traction in this? Oh, Sean Hayes, thank you very much, ZB, chiming in on the chat. If you want to take part in the program, you can one of many ways. It's called, I don't know, it's the new age. Just respond wherever you're seeing this.
Yeah.
Even though, Trent, we tried to have AI get us that audience, okay? We tried to have improvement. Now, how do we gauge improvement? And right before the show, you asked me an excellent question, and I can provide you the answer and provide context. And what was your question?
Well,
Throwing back to the show graphic.
The titles, throw the title screen. Like AI, right? Like we've seen videos, and there'll be like some police beating up someone. And they'll be like, look at the logo on their shoulder, and it's like.
Oh yeah,
and
they're like
logo.
the San Diego Police.
Yeah. They don't understand the context like that. So I was like, CTR, is that like, what is that? Is that a real thing?
CTR is a very real thing. So in the world of YouTube, because like in this day and age, first, this whole journey started because I came to the realization we're trying to do the same old thing in an era where platforms mean something completely different now. And even what we're doing is completely different from what it was when we started this.
Yeah.
Over 15 years ago, Trent.
Dude. Over
15, and we're still going. Smodcast still ain't even going. We're going, baby. That's not a call out. I love my boss. Don't worry. Anyway, so we've been doing this for so long, and in the face of it, it's like, you know what? We're trying to do the same thing, but we're not celebrities. And so what can we do? What can we change about the podcast to make us more attractive on YouTube? So I engaged AI. I told it was a click-through rate expert. CTR, there you go. And the goal was to improve the watch time and the retention. We weren't looking. Go ahead.
Yeah, those are high value metrics, right?
Exactly, and there would be primary indicators of success.
Yeah.
And I said, I said 6 weeks, but realistically, it's like 6 shows.
Yeah.
And I worked with it time and time and time again, sometimes frustratingly. But I will say, before I make a disparaging comment about it, I think everyone may agree that in many ways it helped provide a new focus for the show, kind of bringing us back in light to having some forethought of what we're going to talk about instead of just sitting down and chatting, because who gives a shit about that? And really kind of help us be more relevant and more modern.
Yeah, because it less rote, right?
Yes, and more of a genuine product that might provide value in people's lives.
Yep.
Boy, that sounds like a grandiose statement in itself.
Yeah, that's our mission statement, folks.
Nice shot, kid, but don't get dicky. No, wait, that's wrong. Sorry, I got that one wrong again. Anyway, so the whole goal was to do this. Now, Trent, why do I say AI killed the podcast? Because I said at the onset, if this doesn't work, maybe it's time to throw in the towel. And I'm right. And I'm going to tell you why I'm right. And I'm going to tell you about the reasons why. When you hear about how AI is going to replace people's jobs, it's going to do this and it's going to do that. First, I want to put out there that I think AI is still a misnomer. The indication of artificial intelligence is false, because that is not what this is.
It is not. Not in the least.
It is not intelligent. And I have got one sole use case to provide you the evidence of that. Because, Trent, I've been working with my virtual click-through rate expert for 6 shows now, maybe more. I don't know. And what is the one key thing that it didn't do, other than, of course, delivering actual results? Because that didn't happen. Although I will say, depending on the way you look at things, we did see actual improvement in curiosity. People checking out the show. That did go up. So you would think the click-through rate went up. And realistically, it kind of did. It did inch up a little bit. To say that it was a failed experiment is false. We did get better click-through rate. And we have gotten better traffic as well. Our retention time did actually go up a little bit. So you're like, well, how is it not successful then? Because if you look at it compared to a year ago, the growth is just incremental. Okay?
Yeah, especially if you compare that to the amount of time you put into working with, like, and teaching it what you wanted, and trying to make it your friend, so it would actually do what you wanted instead of just like going bleep bloop 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 bloop.
Yep. Well, Trent, the whole thing is that as has been brought up on the show, my mom recently passed. Now I am selling her home, and the real estate agent brought a very good thing up to me. She made me think of something, because in the game of real estate, it's all about what improvements do we need to make, what improvements should we make, what improvements can we make. Sure. Can we make is the largest list. The should comes down to an evaluation. An equation she has, it's a 1 for 3. For every $1 I put in, I'm going to get $3 back, right? In value.
Yeah.
So I now say that if I am going to put 1 minute of effort in, then it needs to provide 3 minutes of value to someone. And you know what? It's just like with the amount of effort I put in, we weren't really seeing the return. And so NetHeads is done. The NetHeads you've all known and loved for 15 years is done. It's over. But let me get back to the road work here that brought us to this point. And that's the simple fact that artificial intelligence, as we were just saying, is not truly intelligent. It is it's an interpretation machine, and it's an output machine. That's all it does. So it can take information in, it can interpret, it outputs. But it's never going to suddenly cut to black when it writes a Sopranos script if it has no reference to what the Sopranos is.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, 100%.
Okay? It is not going to even be able to come up with the fact that Bruce Willis was a ghost the whole time. All right? It is not going to drive a reaver. It's not going to drive the tip of a reaver's ship through Wash's heart after just piloting an insanely difficult trip through ships and asteroids and shit like that. Okay?
Yes.
It's never going to do that because it's not truly intelligent. So I went through this process for 6 weeks, 6 shows, whatever the amount was. And I was looking at the metrics. Now, Trent, when you go to YouTube and you go to your studio and you're looking at your information, one of the key things that it provides, I'm pulling it up now just so I can reference it. Oh, God, that's my ears. Never mind, wrong screen. But one of the things it'll show you, if you go to monetization, because like everybody sits down, I've actually got 2 goals. Really for the channel that I always strive for every year and never ever come close to.
Okay.
That is the fact that I want to get to the full monetization benchmark.
Sure.
Which is like 3,000 qualified viewing hours within a year.
Okay.
Or some really ridiculously large, like 300 million views of shorts. It could be one of those two things.
Okay.
So I always want to get one of those, hit one of those marks. And the second one is I want the YouTube play button. I just want to receive that for 100,000 subscribers.
Right.
I don't care if they fall off a month later back down to 3,360 viewers.
Yeah. It's
right?
a badge to wear.
Exactly. And that's all we want. That's recognition. Clearly, from all the shit I have, I'm a collector of things, and I want that thing. And I want it to be legitimate. I don't want to just buy a knockoff.
Right.
I could 3D print one up and follow the falsehood up and really confuse the fuck out of people, but I'm not going to do that. So those are the things I want. But while I'm looking at that area, admittedly, this is the first time I've seen an increase in a while, but it's also like the first time in a long time we've been consistent in doing shows somewhat.
Yeah.
So
true.
like the viewership of over 3,000 qualified hours, we've actually for the first time ever almost hit the 1/3 mark of that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're almost to 1,000 qualified views within the last 365 days. That's an improvement.
That's awesome.
Right. But it's still a failure, Trent.
Right.
It's still a failure.
Right. Right, yes.
And I keep saying that, and here's the reason why.
Glass 2/3 empty.
Exactly. But here's the reason why that improvement is a failure. I'll stop burying the lead, guys. Realistically, the podcast isn't suited for YouTube, okay? That's what it's not. It doesn't serve new audience.
Right.
What it serves, because of it's over 1 hour, or it's up to 1 hour in runtime, it serves the existing audience.
Correct.
That's what it does.
Yeah.
And I know that because the few times I've done short form content in the last 6 months, and I post them to all the platforms, guess what actually has better metrics? My short form content on YouTube.
Yeah, the shorts do. Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yep.
Because it's the goddamn short attention span theater.
Yeah, it's because TikTok has changed the way hyper users view media.
Yeah, or more to the point, they provide instant feedback, clickbait, and feeling of accomplishment for the ADHD community.
Yep.
Which I can say I'm one of y'all, so don't worry about it. I'm the same way. And there are times I know where I'm getting value from that, from personal gratification, and there are other times I'm scrolling and I have a hollow feeling inside, and that's the point I know I need to put it down.
And then if you're like me, you just chuck it across the room and walk away.
Exactly. Just set it down like, I'm going to read a fucking book. As mundane as that is. So that's the reason why it's a failure. We are still trying to jam a square peg into a round hole. And not even applying lube. So it's just one of those situations where the thing that AI could not identify was telling me up front, you're wasting your time. And the reason why I say that is because I then posed to my CTR expert. I said, hang on a second. I know we've done all this work, but realistically, are we wasting our time here? Should I be focusing more on just short form content? And I provided it just one screenshot. Now, mind you, AI, again, it's an interpretation machine. That's all it is.
Right.
And so it can only work with information I can give it. And naturally, YouTube does not make it simple for you to extract the metrics you need in a way you might benefit from.
Right.
Because technically you could reverse engineer, I'm sure, the algorithm based on that. So they give you certain ways to get certain information that would satisfy advertisers, satisfy you. But if I'm trying to get AI to be a completely interpretive machine about what we're doing, it's difficult to get that information into it. But by providing that one shot, it's like, yeah, you know what? You should really just be focusing on short form content. If you want to do your podcast, great, but you should just be doing it for your audience that exists.
Yeah.
And use short form to try and convert people into that audience.
Well, it's interesting too that it also, at least in your retelling, you haven't brought up the fact where it hadn't asked how you feel about it.
Oh no, it never did that either.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you enjoy doing it? Are you having fun doing it?
No, it doesn't care.
No,
again, it don't care
because it can't intuit anything. It can guess at things, right? And it can give you responses to questions you ask, but it's not like it can listen to you, and then something can pop into its head and be like, it just comes to me. Have you ever tried? And then that's not going to happen.
Now that I think about it, and based on everything you've been saying,
Or-
I wonder,
yeah.
do
Yep.
you find it worthwhile?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying doing this?
Yeah, or what was the value that I don't know. It's so because it's doing what you ask, and it's capable of very rigid thinking.
Right. Exactly. And but nothing else.
That's it.
Absolutely
That's it.
nothing else.
Yep.
It never it never asked me if I was satisfied, because realistically, I enjoy doing NetHeads because we get to talk. That's the
Right.
the whole point of it, right? That's what I'm in it for. But then when you get down to it, the other thing too is that it's an opportunity for me to talk to my friend, and that's why I enjoy doing it. But it does serve an audience. So how exactly does what we're trying to do accomplish that goal? And it doesn't. It's all different things. And by using the 1 to 3 value that my actually let me bring that up in a different way, Trent. We have Patreon subscribers, right? We've had them for quite some time. You sometimes benefit from the money. I usually pocket it and tell you there's nothing really going on. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah,
Now,
no.
Trent, there's also something you're very familiar with, I'm sure. If I hold this up and I show it, I'm showing something we've seen several times that makes a lot of sense in context for a comic shop that's named Death Ray Comics. 'Cause
Totally.
I'm showing you the red and yellow pew pew graphic you've seen over the many years from Death Ray Comics.
Correct.
Those T-shirts are not produced anymore.
No, they
are
not.
not made.
They are not made anymore. Limited
Which
run.
is why there was another limited run where it's instead a combination of that wonderful design of yours, then stolen for the NetHeads T-shirt.
Yeah.
Which, as you can see, it just simply says in the circle around it, listen to achieve Mega Nerd status. I had to have Trent remind me, maybe you might want to put the domain name on there if you're going to walk around wearing it.
Yeah.
And why am I holding this up? Why does this exist? Because for every single person, no matter whether they are active or not at this time, if you put in what I perceive to be more than 3 times the value of this T-shirt in your support lifetime, you received a link where I said, hey, pick a free T-shirt size. And those T-shirts went out and they got delivered now. I even, just so I can get one picture of it, I even got an adult extra small so I can get Blair to take a picture with me.
Sharukin! That's awesome, dude.
Right. Well, it's one of the ways where I wanted to honor you as the co-host. I wanted to respect what I still like, even before I knew it was a Death Ray Comics T-shirt. When I first saw it at Salt Lake Comic-Con, I saw you wearing it, I'm like, oh my God, that is an awesome T-shirt. I want one. At which point you just pointed up to the board. Like, pew pew T-shirt, $10, which of course was a loss leader, clearly. Based on what I know about T-shirts, or it's been more than a decade, so they
both,
and shipping is let's not talk about these
Yeah.
things. But
No,
anyway,
yeah,
so
yeah,
that's one of
yeah.
the ways, because again, you have contributed more than 3 times the value in my life to us and in support of us. So you got it. If you're all offended because you didn't get one,
as
know what I'm saying?
As the kids say, tough titties.
There you go. Well, I wouldn't go that way.
Well,
That's
I
just
don't
me.
know. Maybe they're softer titties. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
understand. I don't. You know what? Tough.
I like
hard,
all,
soft.
I like them all.
There you go.
I'm a
There you
celebrator
go.
of titties.
You know what? Look, the thing is, man, we are men here, unfortunately.
We're
As
men
many-
in tights.
As many people will say, oh, great, it's another 2 white guys with mics, which I think you're actually completely right about. So, value being delivered, there's no value in us doing this show live, because here's the process that this show goes through. We do it live, but we also record it at the same time. So before I click the start streaming button, there is show that happens before the podcast and after the podcast that just goes to our Patreon subscribers. They also get the benefit of the improved audio that is for the beginning and end, because the middle part is the same for everybody. Notice what I said there. The unique parts in the engineering work go to everybody. However, there's a separate video product that's just for them. And it is not reflective of what the live one is that goes out because it doesn't have that unique content.
Right.
So if I'm already going to have to do post-production work and I'm already creating content that is just for a specific audience, why am I putting out a potentially subpar product every time by just chopping off the inside, by only including that middle part for free? Because that's what I do for the version that is considered the podcast on YouTube. It's just the general version that we do after I've clicked live.
Right.
So if I'm already having to pull it into production, then I'm only going to produce it for the people that are paying for it, meaning the extra content and all that. The podcast, naturally, we still want to sound good. And conversely, if we have a bigger audience, we could get more Patreon subscribers, and when things improve, things are also able to be improved for everyone. A rising tide rises all ships, my friend. So if we get more Patreon subscribers, eventually it cascades to everyone. But I'm only doing the post-production work for people that are really paying for it, for the extra stuff. But more importantly, whatever the quirkiness or benefit of value of live is, it's just going to be for our Patreon subscribers now. So the podcast itself isn't ending, but the version of it that we have been since its inception is a live podcast. We're not doing that anymore.
Right.
So that's how the podcast is ending, but it's not really ending.
Right.
You know, look, I'm sorry. Yes, I clickbaited you. If you got this far and you're like, oh my God. And by the way, and much in the same vein of making sure value is where it's appropriate, our Patreon subscribers know that this was all bullshit.
They saw it in the pre-show. They're like, oh, okay.
Oh no, they've heard it for weeks from me too.
Oh, right, yeah.
So
in post shows,
it's no surprise. Now, but what did I learn from this experience? I learned those very valuable things. Focus your efforts where they pay off.
Right.
Only do things if they're fun or they pay off.
Yep.
Like right now, Trent, I think it's a perfect time for us to pivot. Okay? And I think what we're going to pivot to is one of my favorite segments that we always do, where I have 3D printed something, Trent.
Oh.
And in 3D printing it, what have I done? I have introduced a situation where you may not understand why I've 3D printed it, otherwise known as...
What is my purpose?
That's right. We are going to present a 3D printed object to Trent. Trent is going to look at the 3D object, and he has to determine...
What is my purpose?
And Trent... This one is, I'm going to pull you up first. Hopefully I got your angle at least a little. No, I got it really crappy anyway. And see, again, this is live. Everyone is seeing this. If I undo this as live, nobody saw that and it's all cut out. But I'm putting you on there first, Trent, because lately I've been doing some layups. Why?
Because you like basketball?
Well, I mean, what I could have done is I could have held this up, okay? I could have held this up. It's a simple desktop stand that I 3D printed to hold my Pocket Zoom 3 because.
But and obviously I just would have said it's a square peg that you're going to put in your round hole.
There you go. Because that's what I said we're good at. But no, I could have shown that. However, I think it's important that if we're talking about something, we should bring some connective tissue to it. So.
Okay.
I'm going to show you this. It is going to be pretty easy in a layup, I'm relatively certain.
Oh, let's hope.
And it's going to be able to talk about what it is I'm doing outside of NetHeads as well.
Okay.
Or in conjunction with, or as an enhancement of.
All right.
This is the 3D print, Trent.
Oh, my glob.
Or more importantly said, this is the, this is going to be the 3D print project that breaks me. Okay. Trent, why don't you take the opportunity to describe to the audience what you are seeing?
Well, right now, I am seeing Will in a shiny black printed Mandalorian helmet.
That's right. The only thing that is missing are the side details that are known as the ears and the back vents. They aren't presently on it. And obviously, the visor is not in.
Yeah, and that brings up a really interesting point because I don't think you can print like poly glass, right?
No, you can't, but it's also very easy to take a simple sheet of clear PVC and throw some window tint on it and then use a template to cut that out.
Is
And
that
this
what they use?
Yes, and let me tell you
Okay.
why we're here. And let me take this off, too, because it sounds ridiculous. Like, realistically. By the way, Trent, I'm also going to take this moment to tell you a little funny anecdote. The other day, my wife was telling me, hey, I couldn't sleep. I finally listened to NetHeads.
Uh-oh.
I didn't know which way to take that. I'm like,
It's so good, it'll put you right to sleep.
I'm relatively certain this is good news and bad news at the same time. But I wanted to make sure to share that with you. This particular version that I printed, first of all, why am I doing this? It's because on May the 4th, I was making May the 4th content because I'm a douche. And when I was doing that, one of the things I always do is kind of like look around and see what's happening. And then I also, very often when I do things for content, like recently I went to Disneyland, right? And when I went to Disneyland, I already showed you, I had special ears that I printed up myself that connect via magnets.
Yeah.
And the good folks at Sliceworx inadvertently had sent me the absolutely perfect filament within my slice box that month with their matte PLA finish. And, you know, I was able to show you how I 3D printed for my Haunted Mansion themed poster hat. I was able to do the hat pox in the Old Glory or special ivory white that they sent months ago for 4th of July. And they had sent this matte purple in the last box I had received.
Which looks
what
so
I used
cool
for the
on the
Haunted
black.
Mansion.
Yeah, I like that.
Exactly. And that's great, by the way. If you know somebody that is a 3D printer, a person that is avid about printing, one of the best gifts you can get them or you can get yourself is the Sliceworx Slice Box, because every month it's around $40, I think, somewhere around. I don't know what the price is anymore. I just put it on a credit card and then try and ignore that. But what you're always going to get is you're always going to get a solid filament, you're going to get a multicolor filament, and then you're also going to get a bonus item. And these bonus items pay dividends, my friend, because I have been able to get a finishing tool, which looks a lot like a soldering iron, but it also has different heads on it, similar to plastic welders.
Yeah.
So that way you could do things like re-smooth out these edges without having to first sand them, right? And risk losing some stuff there. Let's get some of this material back to the surface. I have a digital leveler that I'm able to use for my print beds or for hanging shelves, hanging the Scatus-like stuff that I got going behind me. All of that business I got from my slice box. And again, you never know what you're going to get and when you're going to need it. Okay. Now we got to try and clearly I'm not capable of doing the weave, as it's called, because I just stalled out. But the reason why I bring all this up is because with the slice box, one of the things that I never realized because of this Mando helmet.
Yeah.
I never realized, oh my gosh, I need some bed adhesive because I usually use the Sliceworx triple dip or the Neo dipped build plates.
Right.
These are the tacky epoxy plates that are Neo for next generation epoxy overlay.
There
Thank
we go.
you still again for that, Trent. And if you go to the link on the screen or the link in the bio, you can go ahead and get, I believe, 5% off your purchase with offer code ThatWillWilkins. But please remember, use the link in my bio, use the code. I get credit both ways that way, and you help support the podcast. Usually I've got the build plates. One of the last extras that was in there were 3 special glue sticks.
Oh, yeah, adhesives for it.
Yeah, to go ahead and make sure they hold on because, Sliceworx almost broke my Elegoo Neptune 4 Plus because I'm so used to their build plates being so good. The common build plate didn't hold and really effed things up. Sliceworx, darn you for being so good.
Yeah, just doing your fucking job so well.
And Trent, in this project that I'm involved in, I was very seriously considering bringing the Neptune 4 Plus back out again. So I'm going to need a bed adhesive. Why? Because, well, I'm printing this helmet, Trent, because I am well in advance of it, rather than making a rush last-minute 3-day print of ears before going to Disneyland. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but May 22nd, Grogu or the Mandalorian and Grogu hits movie theaters.
Yes.
This is our first Jon Favreau produced Star Wars movie.
Yep.
And he has done pretty good with the stuff that he's been involved in, so I'm excited about it.
All of the Iron Mans.
Right. So I figured, you know what? The good thing to do would be to actually start doing this in advance and print out the one project I have always avoided, and that is a full Mandalorian armor set.
Hell yes.
And you're probably wondering, well, Will, why have you avoided that? 2 simple words: shiny and chrome.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
because
yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, Trent, but
Yep.
like there's a lot of layer lines here, and every single one of them will show, because the process is you need a smooth surface, then you lay down a glossy black out on top of your primer.
Yep.
And then you lay down, there's 2 things you can do. You can use graphite powder that you put in and buff,
Oh,
put in and buff.
and buff it in? Okay.
Yes, but that easily smudges. Or there are specialized paints, not the multiple thousands of dollar ones the show uses, but other lower grade ones that kind of do the same job. And then you spray paint it goes on looking like a dull chrome, and as the alcohol dissolves, it becomes the shiny chrome you're looking for.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's going to have to be almost every fucking piece of this armor.
Yeah.
Which means there is going to be a part of this project where I will realize, oh no, 2.5 weeks was not enough time. Because I am in for a hell trip of priming and sanding and priming and sanding and priming and sanding.
To get, for all the,
And then just when I think I'm done, priming and sanding.
Well, and
painting.
Yeah, and because it's a curved object like that, right? It's one of those things that is going to look best hand sanded.
Yeah, especially
because
like
if you're using like any sort of plane on your sander, it's just going to make a line it's you're gonna have to do it by hand.
Look, all you flat earthers, it's curved. Okay, I'm gonna have to hand sand that. But you know, a lot of the things that I'm going to be able to use to help finish this is going to be from the Slicebox. So go ahead and check out all their amazing products. Again, link in bio. Sliceworx. Use their offer code ThatWillWilkins, 5% off your purchase. Love those guys. Absolutely adore them, especially considering, you know, all of these prints take hours, right? Because I'm trying to get the best finish I can. Yeah. But in some cases, I'm kind of forced to.
Yeah, you got to go with strength on that one.
Yeah.
Especially, because it's domed and everything.
Well, and so the reason why I'm doing it now is because I thought, you know, Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out on the 22nd. That's a lot of time compared to March or May 4th.
Right. Yeah. Right? Yes. Absolutely.
Comparatively for me on in my projects.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I bet you I would have fun doing content about it. So that's what we're gonna do. And sure enough, I went to the experts. I went to Galactic Armory, and they offer 3D prints. And it just so happens, Trent, because you know I love a deal. On May 4th, they had 50% off of the 3D print files. So normally $30. I got the entire armor set for $15. Now I just got to print it. And technically speaking, I could have printed it for very little money with existing filament.
Sure, but it would have been all over the place, color-wise, right? Yeah.
Like, and already, so I started on yesterday. The video was day 5, so I started 5 days ago, and I've already identified things I need to start reprinting. But that's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
Man.
Right. Yeah.
Part
exactly.
of the journey.
Yeah.
Like that helmet. Guess what? That ain't the helmet.
Well, yeah. So that's my question then, because like you go to the cons and like, you know, like you'll see any type of like take on their armor, right? Like like their own bespoke like snow camo armor or whatever, right? So what's your take going to be for the Mandalorian? Is it going to be the traditional chrome? Because as the Mandalorian army itself was a traditional chrome, and we see it in Clone Wars a couple of times, the animated series.
Trent, how long have you known me now?
Well, I mean, over a decade and change.
What do you think?
I think Will Wilkins ain't nothing to fuck with.
What you see is what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I'm not doing I'm doing the Mandalorian armor set to be precise.
Yep.
And I do have painting and chroming in my future. So, you know,
hell yeah.
Heaven help us. But I'll be able to because I've got extra pieces, I'm also going to be able to utilize tests, direct side-by-side tests. Because one of the things that I do have is a plethora still of UV resin 3D printing fluid.
Yeah.
And guess what? You combine that in calc with talcum powder for a 2-to-1 ratio, and you have a very good self-leveling solution that you can paintbrush on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we'll see. It's going to be that, or it's just, you know, spray painting, printable or sandable primer.
Yep.
Even though I think, unlike other people and other things I've seen, I think I'm actually going to probably lay down a few layers of primer first.
Yeah.
to kind of just
And
try
then-
and
yep.
get some leveling. And
Yep.
But anyway, it's going to be a journey and it's going to be a pain in the ass, but I look forward to doing it. And if you want to see more about that, just basically that Will Wilkins on the socials if you want to identify it. But that's what's going on. But one of the things, like I said, I don't think this helmet is it because the problem with 3D printing is always do I have a good printer and are the settings right?
Right, yeah.
Like, for example, I have to print some things on my K2 Plus. I made mention of having to potentially use the Elegoo Neptune 4 Plus because if I want to print the jetpack if I want to, that already is a big if, and I don't think I'm effing with it right now.
Yeah.
But I could print it all at once on that particular printer.
Really? It's that big?
It's a 320 by 320 by 385.
Okay.
So if I can fit the body of that in, but
Yeah.
I already said I'm reprinting pieces, right?
Right, yeah.
The chest piece I realized after, because I threw it on, not the armor, but I put the show on this morning, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at what I got, and I'm like, the chest piece is too small. I got the abs right, but the chest piece itself is too small. So I've got to run that on the K2 Plus, for example. That's my biggest build plate at 350 by 350, or 350 cubed. However, it right now is also, I'm still going through Creality customer service to resolve the fact that it'll have Z-axis issues, it'll have the pressure sensor issues, belt tensioning sensors going off. Yeah, it's a real fuckaroo. So it's fine for big pieces, but like with this one, if I showed you this, well, you'll see the helmets in the future comparatively in different stages. But realistically, right now, somehow my bed slinging Bamboo Lab A1s produce a smoother finish.
Yeah.
However, I tried to start the helmet there last night, and I was having issues, and nothing's perfect, man. Like this right here that you see on my amazing Sliceworx build plate is what we call a. It's basically a gauging print. It's a 3D print it's a stress test, so it lets you know
sure, okay.
what curvature you're at before the filament starts to require supports.
Yep.
My sweet spot apparently is 40 degrees, so by telling it to not do supports until 45 degrees, I'm really fucking things up.
Yeah, you're yep.
Yeah, but it's letting me know how good it does on bridging. It's a whole lot of things, right? But also, the part that's hard to see is that it also lays down a perimeter test for how your flow is around these areas, and sure enough, I got some degradation right here in the front, and wouldn't you know, if I need to try and print that helmet big enough to fit my head, it's going border to border. So right now, there's left printer and there's right printer. Right now, right printer is the goat. So we're gonna start the helmet on that bad boy.
Yeah, and that's your Bamboo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, thoughts and prayers for me, Trent, is all I'm saying. Because realistically, there's nothing wrong with this. Like I said, the end process is always going to still be priming and sanding. It's just that how much effort do you want to put in?
Yep, exactly.
And at this point, I'm just happy to have a test helmet too. Right?
Oh yeah. I mean, but like it's like, dude, I was just thinking about like before this age of printing, like. To be a cosplayer, you had to like send away to someone who had actually built the actual injection molding to do something like this, right?
Or somebody that's a member of the 501 First that also has their own fabrication facilities, and they're taking sheets of PVC and vacuum forming them.
Yeah.
Vacuum forming, by the way, Trent, another one of the things I'm going to be screwing with in the next couple weeks, and I'll tell you the reason why. It's because my good folks at Do 3D came out with a new version of the Daredevil helmet that if you wanted to include battle damage as a guidance to lay down the red paint that's coming through on season 2.
Put it on. Oh, shit.
And that's what I've just put on my head so the audience knows. I just put on the new Daredevil. This one is in black. It does not have the lenses in it. It's unnerving, but that brings me to a point. With this new version of the helmet they put out, they also provided a vacuum form guide, meaning it's the brick that is just the lenses that you can put on top of a small vacuum form table, heat up a sheet of PVC, and form your own lenses to go in. Oh,
shit.
Which is the only challenge I've had in mass producing and selling these things. And with the incredible season that just finished with season 2, knowing that season 3 is coming out, I will be once again selling these helmets after I build that little vacuum form table. And I'm looking
Shit,
forward to
that's
sharing
cool.
that too.
Yeah, that'll be
but-
rad. I'm
but
actually super interested in that.
Speaking of which, Trent, I know that you are always constantly busy and always, I will always tell you something happening. You're like, okay, great, yeah, I'm going to watch that. And then fuck all if you do. But have you caught any of either Daredevil Born Again Season 1 and Season 2 on Disney+? Season 1 last year, Season 2
No,
this
not
year?
yet.
Now that we have gotten to the end of Season 2, Trent, I can tell you right now, now's
wait
the
on
time to
it.
finally sit down and watch it.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, get through Season 1 because it's a broken narrative. It's the Superman 2 of Daredevil seasons.
Gotcha.
You know, they changed directors or creatives midway through to get it back on course, so they did their best to recover what they had and fit it into a new narrative.
Yeah.
Season 2 is the complete narrative put together by the same storyteller, so they got to have the story from beginning to end.
Okay, gotcha.
An amazing season. And Trent, I know you live in a spoiler-free world, so I will just say that the season finale produced one of the best moments since I'm Iron Man. Yeah, and that's all I'm going to leave it at. I'm just going to say that. That's as much as the teaser I'm going to get.
That's enough to get me to watch it.
And the way that scene plays, immediately after that moment happens, something else happens, and you're just like, oh, yes, bitch, that's right. Charlie Cox is Daredevil.
Yeah.
Now
yes.
and forever
yes.
in my mind.
Yep. Yeah. Not unlike how oh shit, Kevin Conroy is Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like there's that's the voice I hear. That's who I think of when I see Daredevil in my head is Charlie Cox.
Yeah, and with this season of Daredevil, I'm telling you right now, that's it. That is it. I mean, like before we were already saying this, but after this season, you're like, oh, this guy not only represents the character well, he not only gets into it, but you can tell he likes it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just plays perfectly. And this season was great because there are a few times where thankfully it had me going, where's this going?
Yeah.
Like he does something in the season opener. This isn't a spoiler. He discovers that there is a ship that's running guns into New York to a port that's controlled by Fisk. That's not a spoiler. It's a factual bit of information.
Yeah.
And during the exploration, he finds the hidden room where the guns are in the boat. They've created a facade in the fucking boat, man.
Yeah.
And in a last-minute thing, he's like, in order to, and you don't realize what he's doing at the time, he's looking around, and he's listening, and then he hears a watch ticking, and he hones in on one of the bad guys. He takes the watch off the bad guy and puts it in the trunk with the guns. And at first you're like, why the hell you're doing that? But then you forget this is Matt Murdock. Dude can hear the whole goddamn city at once. So he hears that watch ticking. He knows the sound of that specific watch ticking.
Yep.
So he can find it again or verify it's nearby.
Yep.
Fucking genius writing, man.
Oh, that's
and
good.
people that just get the character.
Yeah. Yep.
Zach in chat saying, yep, and Ryan Reynolds will always be Green Lantern.
Oh.
What a dick. That's
It's
well played, sir. Well played.
dude, and that that had so much potential. And God,
What's
that
really
movie.
interesting is going into, even though the whole WB Paramount thing unfortunately happening, but
Right.
it'll be very interesting to see. We're getting Lanterns very soon on HBO Max, and that is going to be James Gunn's first interpretation of Green
Yep.
Lanterns in the world.
Yep.
It's going to be more like True Detective. I don't think we're going to see a lot of costumes, but it will be interesting to see if people do truly say, "Oh, that's my Green Lantern."
Well,
know what I mean?
and geniusly with their already portrayal of Guy Gardner, the world's most hated of the Lanterns, outside of like a Sinestro. Like, oh my God, it's brilliant. It's so goddamn brilliant.
Played a little too well dickishly by Nathan Fillion.
That's what
You're
I'm
like,
saying, though. He's like he nailed that so perfectly. It's just
well,
like
hey,
the
I'm
haircut alone pissed me off.
Dude, I'm super pumped to hear you've seen Superman. You know,
Yes.
that's the big revelation here, guys. Fuck the fact that we're not going live anymore, and I trolled you with NetHeads. No, the true thing is, oh wow, Trent actually saw Superman. How did you get here, man? I've already got tickets for the very first show of Mando and Grogu.
Really?
On the 21st. Yes, I'm going to start working at 5 a.m. and at 2 o'clock I'm going to fuck off and go see that movie. Will I show up to the theater in a full set of armor? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe. Will I be able to recline in the in the seat I paid for? Probably not.
Well, that's why, of all the things that are in there, the interesting thing, and if you're wondering what I'm 3D printing, guys, just go to galacticarmory.com and go to the 3D print files for Star Wars. The Mando one is the very first set of armor that pops up. And they also have an animated GIF of the whole, a 3D
Oh,
GIF
of it coming together?
No, of just of what every element is
the
that's
piece.
in there.
Yeah.
And first of all, I never knew, oh, wow, I never realized that part of his Mandalorian armor are these hip flaps. For protecting, the hip, which makes sense. You kind of need that ball joint to work if you're going to be an effective warrior.
Yeah.
But then I also discovered there's the butt flap, Trent. And guess what the name of the file is in the 3D prints? It's butt flap.
Oh, I thought
it really is.
I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be mud flap.
It's not. That would have been funny. More appropriate. Fuck. Sometimes you'd say the jokes, and I just get so mad I didn't get there first. So mad. But like, if I were to go see the movie in full armor, I would not be including that piece. Nor am I wasting my time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there is one funny thing I can bring up about the armor. One last stupid thing, and then I'll stop talking about this shit. And that's that one of the, you know me. Unfortunately, as much as I try not to fixate on the detail,
right?
I also fixate on the detail.
Right.
I wish I didn't. So I already know all of the fabrics people recognize. Yes, I may have actually bought a pattern for building the flight suit, all the things attached to.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Will I be doing that before the 21st? More than likely not. Will I just be wearing a cheap pair of $20 work coveralls that are modified? More than likely.
Yeah.
Why?
It's easy.
Value.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I were wearing this to a con, different story, right?
It's okay that mine's not movie quality.
Exactly. I always know there are certain things I can say, and it will elicit the specific reaction I'm looking for. Thank you for that.
And that's exactly what it is, though, right? And that's the difference.
Yeah, exactly. And so, obviously, I'm going for a little bit of detail.
Yeah.
It's not just buying filament, unfortunately, with me. It's like, okay, these $30 shoes will do. These... And the other funny thing about his armor, I forgot even what I was going to talk about a second ago. But here's the thing that you don't get when you get into the details of it. First of all, that print. By the way, those files also, as a courtesy add-in, they come with his revolver. So his gun
to print.
Yes.
Oh,
shit! So I can print his pew pew.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. But the thing it doesn't include are what they call the soft parts. And for a Mando costume, that is the belt and the bandolier, the holster. And then here's the part that gets me. This guy has got a piece of laser-resistant Beskar, blaster-resistant Beskar over every vital part of his body. But the left shin is covered by layers of leather. That's all it is. If you look at it, it looks like it's a leather sleeve that goes over his calf that's topped off. Granted, it's topped off by a kneecap protector that launches missiles.
Right.
That's great. But it's leather, Trent. It's ribbed leather that then has a cuff on it that then goes up the body where it kind of looks like it's slouching a little bit. It's wrinkled a little bit. And then it has a top band on it that includes a little pouch on the outside left. So this guy has got something vital protecting every single important area aside from his left shin. What the ever-loving F?
So I'm wondering if that's
the simple answer is he ran out of Beskar.
Sure.
But he had old armor that the armorer could have converted.
And that's why I'm wondering if like there's it could be a function thing as far as like if there is like a certain speeder or something that he regularly rides that needs something like, because for like motorcycles, for example, right? Like you buy covers or things to put over your boots for your shifters.
Just like every you can tell every cyclist, every person that bikes to
bicycles
work because their right pant leg has an extra wrinkle from being pegged. So they don't get their pants in the chain.
That's what I would think is there's some reason why he like whether it would slip off the speeder or something along those lines. I don't know.
Well, the simple thing to say though, Trent, is that unfortunately I'm going to be screwing with craft foam again because I figure that's the quickest
Oh yes,
and
I
easiest
love
way to do it.
craft foams, and you can do anything with craft foam. Dude.
Look, man, I'm just going to
literally anything.
All I got to do is spend a few refresher hours on Odin Makes channel
Yep.
with my good friend Odin Abbott.
Yep.
And I'll be able to do it very, very quickly and easily. I'll be like, because of him, I even know that I can make this sleeve a little bit long because really it's going to be like a craft foam sleeve with a Velcro closure on the back.
Yeah.
But then I can take the middle section where I told you it's always kind of wrinkled in the costume, and I'll just be able to apply some heat from a heat gun and bunch it this way and bunch it that way, and now I got it.
Yep.
So I just think it's funny that this is what I'm falling into. But you know, and again, you're like, oh, it'll be a simple bit for like YouTube and stuff, and then next thing I know, I'm looking at like, how much are these under the flight suits from Pakistan? How much can you get a full set for?
and oh shit, what do they call them? The things that wrap around the boots to cover the laces.
The spats.
Yeah, like wrap around so it looks like
his actually, Trent, his boots are just kind of like a short boot that have like a Velcro seal over the inside.
Oh, okay.
He wears fancy shoes when he fights. But the other funny thing too is like, so naturally I've gone in and I've seen what the fabrics are used, and it's like, well, what about his cape? What do people use for his cape? Most people, it's a washed wool is what they use, and then you go on
and then
to
shrink it.
No, you don't even shrink it. It's just washed wool. It's already been shrunk. They boiled it. It's boiled wool, technically speaking.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was meant to say. And so I'm looking around, and it's like, oh, okay, so I'm going to need, for my height, I'm going to need about 2 yards of this. And then it's like, oh, 2 yards. How much is it? $44 a yard? Well, fuck that.
Yeah, seriously.
And I'll tell you the reason why. Because very similar fabric, the exact right color, and it's 80% wool and then 20% synthetic. It is a simple outdoorsman blanket that I can use. It's more than 2 yards of fabric for $13.48.
Jeez.
I think we're gonna go that route.
Call
me silly.
And how quick can you get it?
It's gonna be here in the next few days.
Yeah. So there you go.
Done.
Yep.
So it's interesting. But man, oh man, the amount of information out there for like the DIY thing. I already know how to make the cape. I already know how to do that. I already know I need the big Velcro to stick all the pieces on.
If I remember right, it's pinned on one side. The cape, it's like, or
well,
is
technically, look, let me. I'm going to give it to you.
It's a shoulder thing, right?
I'm going to give it to you in a very quick nutshell. What the cape consists of just being a big rectangle. In the big rectangle, you are going to cut a very deep U. You're then going to bring that up over the shoulder. One part of the U comes over from left to right completely, and that one you bunch up and sew. Now the one that is on what we would call the right, you looking at the left, that one comes straight down. It is going to have excess, you then trim. You then fold it over, you tag that, you add Velcro so that way one piece can always consistently stick to the next one as that shorter right piece goes over the left.
Yeah.
And you add Velcro or straps for the cape to adhere to so you know it stays in place as it runs across the chest.
Yeah.
That's how you make the cape.
That at least that one's only like an afternoon's worth of work.
And what's really great is I just gave you that in 5 minutes instead of the 2 hours of frickin' research I had to do. Do you know the number of videos I've watched of people sanding and priming and sanding and priming and then painting and chroming? I've seen so many. And let me tell you something, that graphite powder approach, it sounds great, but it's a lot of dusting with a cotton ball. It's going everywhere. It needs to be buffed, and it easily smudges. And that's why if I can do well with the paint, I'm just going to do that. But for all of the other pieces where there are nooks and crannies and stuff, it may just be the better approach. I don't know. Look, the whole point is it don't need to look good, man. Because it's just it's I'm doing this for a joke, a lark.
Yeah,
right?
it's a proof of concept.
Never mind. By the way, Buddy the Elf dropping into the chat, thanking us for the T-shirt. You're very welcome, sir. And by the way, that is still, if we get enough people that do sign up, and then they hit whatever that mark is, we'll reopen it and do it again. It's a limited time thing. Yeah. Because shipping is terrible right now, and if I knew then what I knew now, I might not have done it. But
Well, you would have printed enough on the back to be considered a book, so you could send it media mail.
there you go. There's 2,000 words of text on the back of this.
It's all lorem ipsum, but that's fine.
This is my book, and it's printed in black on black. Don't worry about it. I swear it's there.
It's there. It's like a magic eye. It's a schooner.
Sailboat is a schooner, you moron. Stop making me forget I was talking about, man. It's not fair. But, realistically speaking, with all this effort that I'm putting in, you can bet your goddamn ass it's also going to be the Halloween costume this year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Dude, you're going to get life out of this for sure.
Well, and that's why I don't know if I want to buy one of these Etsy flight suits because, fuck it, it's already made, or am I going to go through trying to find the material? Because, like I said, I do have the patterns.
Right.
I did buy them for like $10, not
Yeah.
bad, and I can easily customize it, and I won't have to because this pattern is 501 first approved.
Oh,
the
shit.
3D prints are 501 first approved.
Yeah.
Trent, if I do a good enough job,
could join.
I could get 501 first approved, my
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You get a special badge for that or anything? What do you...
Challenge coin, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, look, Buddy the Elf joining way too late asking what's the fate of NetHeads. You really got to listen to the whole show,
Yeah,
sir.
sorry, man. You have to listen to the whole show to find out if it's over or not.
I know the way lives work. I'm pretty sure you can run it back, man. I know you can run it back. Not to mention, you're one of the Patreon subscribers. You're already in on the joke if you would frickin' read. Why is he yelling at one of his listeners? I don't know.
I don't know.
Seems like a dumb approach when you're trying to
you
get
know
an
what?
audience.
He hates being yelled at, and you hate yelling.
I know, right, man? So don't make me do this. Why are you making me do this? Oh my gosh, that's like the bumper sticker of an abuser. So glad I said that. Anyway, Trent, that's everything that's going on. That's where the hell we are. What's going on in your world, man?
Dude,
I've told you about all my shit and not a fucking care in the world of yours.
My world heavily affected by some internet hijacking going on with a company called Instructure that owns Canvas.
Oh, shit, son, this hit me too.
Boy, howdy. Over 8,000 institutions are being held hostage right now.
By the way, folks, if you don't
yeah.
here, allow me not, let me try and expand that waveform a little bit. Why don't you explain to the people what went on? Because very long story short, this impacted my daughter too. She got to spend 2 days in class watching movies.
Yep. So essentially, the online learning CMS, which is Canvas, it is by far the most widely used academic CMS there is, content management system, right? So it's how we do tests, it's how we register for classes. Everything is done through Canvas.
Has many different API connections, so we can export and work with all kinds of grading systems.
Yeah, and I think that's where they got into trouble was through some homebrew API. But regardless. Somehow a group was able to not only get in to their servers, but then grab supposedly everyone's information. They haven't released a whole lot, but they have given demands and everything. I think they have until like May 22nd or whatever the timetable they gave them. As of last night, Canvas had not responded to them. However, they have been talking to everyone else. And we had for 2 days we had just a worldwide Canvas blackout, which is insane.
Right?
That is for. That would be like Netflix for academia. That would be like Netflix going out for 2 days and then just being like, deal with it.
Yeah, sorry, man. That's just the way it is.
My guess is because it's one great thing is like if our developers could have a very niche problem that deals with just Utah State University, and so they can develop their own API and integrate it. And that's where I'm guessing they probably ran into a problem, was there was some API door left open
Trent,
that they were able to exploit.
I don't mention it very often, but one of the things that happens is like when I'm not doing NetHeads, my 9 to 5, my regular job is I work in IT security and compliance.
Yeah. Yep.
So I always hear about these kind of things, and especially when they happen, it gives me the opportunity to remind my family what it is I do for work because nobody understands.
Right.
And you know, when this type of thing happens, I've seen it time and again, and you're right, because like for example, there is a thing called the Swift network. If you're not familiar with it, what it is that is kind of the network that helps banks do do exchanges of money.
Yeah.
Right. So like wire services kind of go through that. All type of bank to bank transfers for major transactions, that kind of stuff happens on that network. And they actually had to go through spinning up an educational series for people to know the changes that they have made and also make people aware of. Although there have seemingly been some incidents on the Swift network, it has actually always been through the exploitation of partner sites or subscribed people.
Yep.
And that's kind of probably what happened with Canvas as well.
Yeah, I
and
would
look,
assume.
I'm very sensitive to potential exposure on things because of this. I consider it a failure in my life when things get exploited under my watch.
Oh,
Recently,
for sure.
I made mention of actually having an epiphany happen because I had to resolve, which happens all the time though.
Right,
There's like
right.
sometimes you accept the platform is exposed, like WordPress. Should really any of us be using it? No.
Absolutely not.
But we do because it's there. And it's a very easily exploitable thing because it requires so many integrations in order to make things work the way you want. And that's usually the attack vector. And I got to admit something. I'll put it out there. I discovered a few days ago, I actually had one of the very limited Microsoft or Mac-based viruses on one of my machines.
Oh, really?
And I have no idea how it happened because I looked at the typical implantation vectors, and I'm not in any of them. It's like pirated software. That ain't me.
Yeah.
That ain't me. So I don't know how it happened. It could just be that it was residing there but not activated. But it's like, oh, man, that really bums me out. Like, oh, that happened under my watch. Because I take these things seriously. And what you're talking about happens in the corporate world, and the hackers don't care. They're okay just going ahead and hitting the exploits, mainly because the majority of things they have been hitting in the past have been like hospitals and the like, who say the damage being done is much greater than the money they're asking for to get our systems back, and they will actually pay the ransom. So it's all about pain threshold as well. Right. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
I know. So I do a lot of like design work in Canvas, but also it's so interesting because we use another a plugin for Canvas that stores all of our media. Which is kind of clunky. It's super powerful, but like for me, it's just easier to log in as someone else to upload their videos into their Canvas rather than going in the back door. But I had to, anyways, I had to do everything the really long, hard way to get stuff into their Canvas, even though Canvas wasn't accessible at the time. Anyway, it was a whole shit show this week.
Oh yeah, man. It's just like, and it's funny. I didn't even think in my head like, oh, academia is getting screwed because why would I equate what I know the elementary and middle schools use to something something a major university
and that's
would use.
What's so crazy is it really it's the Google of academia. There's nothing
Netflix
bigger.
Of academia,
yeah,
right?
it is. Like nothing can touch it. Everyone uses it.
By the way, we're well over time, and I apologize for going over an hour, guys. But I just got to point out once again, by the way, how much of a trash platform Facebook is. Can we all just turn our look? I know it's easy to sell shit through, but. You know, I already talked about how the fact that I had mine disabled for a frickin' month because I'm just like, I'm sick of this. And I just also said there was a virus on my Mac. You think there might be a connection? Anyway, I wiped it out. I also did a clean scan this morning. But sure enough, after letting it sit dead for a month, I reactivated it. No time in the past 3 weeks has it permitted me to install two-factor authentication because of the bad activity that's been happening on my account. I got the notice again this morning, which I don't understand how is possible considering anyway.
That makes no sense.
Yes, don't let me enable two-factor authentication because you've seen suspicious activity, even though you just had me re-secure my account.
Yeah, that.
You just made me throw, and that leads me to my next point, Trent. There are some things that you can gather as value from NetHeads, and Trent's simple guidance of just use LastPass. Just use it. Yes. It's a pain in the ass on like your phone because you have to go and maybe edit to regenerate a new password. Make sure you save it here and then conversely make sure it gets set there in the paste. But You have saved my life in having to try and remember the numerous passwords, nor coming up with new creative ones.
Yep.
So thank you.
Yeah, and we're not getting paid by LastPass. Use Bitwarden, use whatever. Like they're all the same. And they've all got, as anything is susceptible to some idiot that works there doing something wrong. But it's way more secure than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 password, whatever it might be. And you don't have to remember. You remember just one password, and you're
just
good.
One. Yep. Come up with your most complex but easy to remember password that's in no way associated with any information people can know about you, and you're
That's
Jake.
it. You're good.
Now, Trent, I'm gonna enlist in order to close out the show. I'm gonna do a thing. So I'm gonna do a few callbacks. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a comment made in the chat as a thing as we call a segue into something else.
Okay.
So, for example, one of the last things that have popped up in the chat before we're gonna sign off here is Buddy the Elf is saying you and I should do a reaction to the first episode of NetHeads that was ever recorded. So we're gonna sit down. We're going to listen to it, but we're just going to record our reaction. So it's kind of like the real-time commentary of, oh, my God, why are we so bad?
I love it. I love it.
And, yes, that's an excellent idea and a great piece of unique content that could be done specifically for our Patreon subscribers, who are the only people that are now going to get the live version of the NetHeads, Buddy. That's right. This is the last time we'll be doing live in public. The podcast isn't going anywhere, but the version of it that everyone has known since inception, it's not going to be recorded live. We will do live for our Patreon subscribers so you guys can be in the room with us as we do it. And then we are going to let the masses have the simple, fully produced, good version that plays better for YouTube because we've customized it and we're not putting out pure garbage in the beginning, right? There we go. It's just that easy. Also, by the way, don't forget, if you want to go ahead and get a gift for yourself or the 3D printing person in your life, we highly recommend the Ultimate Slice box from Sliceworx. Use offer code #WillWilkins after you use the link in the bio or the one you see on screen. Get up to 5% off of your purchase. Every time you do that, you not only gift the 3D person in your life, even if it's you, but you also help support the program. So thank you very much for that. Trent, time to get the hell out of here, Trent. I don't know what happened there.
You ran with it, though. It worked.
I don't know what happened.
I liked it.
I don't know what happened.
I liked it.
Oh, speaking of I don't know what happened, I know I was just wrapping up the show, but Dismukes. What is his name? It's something Dismukes on SNL.
Yes.
Olivia Rodrigo was the guest host last week, and one of the funniest freaking sketches that I didn't see coming out of anywhere was Olivia Rodrigo and one of the newer cast members being, like party girls getting in the back of an Uber. And then Dismukes is up front, dressed with, interestingly enough, looking older with a mustache and a hat like this. And they're like, hey, can you put on some music? And he puts something on, and it's kind of like a reggae beat. And then he just out of nowhere just starts dropping mad reggae beats or lyrics. Like just starts spitting them full on with an echo effect and everything.
Yeah.
And then he stops, and the girls are looking, and he's like, is the temperature okay back there for you guys? And they're like, what just happened? And he's like, honestly, I don't know. One of the best skits I've seen in a long time. With that pure kind of oddball, what the hell has just happened energy. So if you haven't, I'm sure you can find it on social media. Just check it out. Highly recommend it. But until next time, Trent, brought to you, recorded live to tape, will be NetHeads, but this time it has been my honor to be here with you guys. Be sure to check out all my business on social media if you give any two craps about a guy taking his first attempt at doing something as complex as a full Mandalorian armor piece. And of course, on social media, a part of him is where you can find Trent just about everywhere, right? I'm that Will Wilkins. This has been NetHeads. And Trent, may the Force be with you.
And may the Force be with you.
See, now that's how I can tell you're Mormon, or that you're a former Mormon. Because if there was any bit of Catholic in you whatsoever, it would have just been, I would have said, may the Force be with you, and you would have instantly chimed in with, and also with you.
Oh, is that the, oh, God, yeah.
Peace be with you, and also with you. We lift up our hearts. We lift our hearts up to the Lord.
My goddamn Protestantism. It's showing. I'm a goddamn prot.
Well, at least it's not Christian nationalism.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker.
Signing off. Resume normal functions in 3, 2, 1.